Are you a scheduler? Like, do you like to schedule and see everything planned out? You know, sometimes it really, really can help us, especially when we're launching into a new school year. That's right, here in the US, everybody is going back to school. And for those of us that are homeschooling, that means, maybe getting back into a groove and working out how we want to be scheduling school for our children. Well, that's what I want to look at today, how we can be effectively scheduling homeschool. Hi, and welcome to Learning Life, and thank you so much for joining me today, and thank you for liking and subscribing and leaving your comments. Thank you so much for watching. Well, are you a scheduler? I'm a scheduler, except really in one thing when it comes to homeschooling. And yes, if you know me, you know that I'm unschooling. I'm not fully completely immersed and a very strong unschooler, but we don't have set, these are our lessons and this is what we're going to do. We're not following a set curriculum. So it might sound funny to have somebody who's unschooling talking about scheduling homeschool, but as being an educator and being a teacher and somebody who knows the power of schedules, it can be a really good thing to at least know what you want to be doing and approximately when. So I want to look at scheduling homeschool because I know for any of you that you are brand new to this, it might feel a little overwhelming. It doesn't have to be. That's the beauty of it. I mean, many of us choose to homeschool because we have that flexibility. Now, you might have chosen to do a curriculum that actually has everything set out for you. Do this on this day, and that's great. If that is what makes you happy and helps you to keep on top of things, then go for it. Absolutely do it. Or maybe you have picked from this and that, and you're but I don't actually want to be doing that. So you need to work out what is right for your week and how you're going to cover the materials. This is where it all comes in. What is the best thing that I can do to be scheduling for my family so that we're not overwhelmed, we're not feeling stressed, so that we actually find that joy in homeschooling instead of thinking, I should have just put them into school. Okay, so what can we do when we are scheduling homeschooling? Make it a routine. Yeah, don't think of it as a schedule, but a routine. These are the things that we do each day or each week, especially in starting off the day. This is how we're going to get started with our schooling, or maybe this is how we're going to finish. These are the approximate things we're going to do. A routine can be helpful rather than a set in stone sort of schedule. Pick the time of day to start. Guess what? It doesn't have to be 8 or 8:30 or 9. You want to do it after lunch? Do it after lunch. This is where that flexibility comes in, and it can really serve on when your children might actually do their schooling best. Especially if you have teenagers, they might be better in the afternoon, early evening than they are in the morning. So why not help them with that? Or maybe you have a partner, a spouse who works night shifts and needs to sleep in the morning. So you generally, head out in the morning. Well, are you wanting to do your homeschool all the time in the park? No. So you can do it in the afternoons. This is make it work for you. When is it best for you? Honestly, for us, we do a lot of it in the afternoon. There are some days we do it in the morning. It just really depends. But pick when you would like to start. Plan to do the more academic subjects first. Yes, so the more academic, the ones that, really are sort of those foundational subjects, your reading, writing, math. These are actually really good to be doing first when our brain is fresh and we're getting into it, and then you can put the other subjects later. Or whatever, maybe your child feels is the harder subject, do those ones first. So then they are done, and then the brain can sort of refresh with some other maybe lighter activities that aren't so brain intense. So do those ones first. Remember, you are not recreating school. You're not. Isn't that one of the reasons why you chose to bring your children home for school? You know what? You don't have to start at a certain time and make sure that every subject gets done every day. You don't have to do that. It's entirely up to you. And remember, you're not going to need the full school day to be doing your schoolwork. You don't need to be scheduling 6 hours worth of school or 7, whatever it is that your local school is doing, because you're not collecting homework or assigning homework or dealing with taking roll or dealing with all of the different things that just come up and having a class full of kids. Your time is going to be very focused, very intensive, so you don't actually have to have all those hours and you're not recreating school. Plan to be flexible. Things happen. The child is sick. There's a doctor's appointment, or suddenly this needs to happen. And you know what? That can just sort of throw you out. Are you going to let that stress you? Or are you going to be like, oh, it's okay. I can move that to tomorrow, or I can move that to next week. Be flexible in it. Have that in your mind. My schedule is flexible. My schedule is flexible. Don't forget to have fun. Yes, plan and play dates, plan and field trips, going somewhere. Guess what? Even the supermarket, put all of that in. Those fun activities that are also learning activities as we look at the social side of things, being with other people, going and, going on a field trip that is just sort of enhancing what you've been doing at home. Those things need to be put in there. Do not forget them. Decide if you want to plan weekly or monthly. For some people, they like to have a month overview. And this usually often sort of happens when you've been doing this for a while and you've gotten into a groove. Or maybe it's just easy to do it weekly and go, didn't happen this week. I can move it to next week. Just taking that time to look at what do I want to do? How long do you think it will take me? Can I do it this week? What can be done next week? You get to decide. Like, that's the thing. Do you want a full month overview and really stick to it? Do you want a weekly with a bit more flexibility? It's up to you. And change your plan if it's not working for you. Change it. Can't stress that enough. It's not working for you, change it. If you have a curriculum that is telling you what to do every day and you're finding that stresses you out, take that framework and make it work for you. You can do it. You can change it. If you've been planning monthly and it's not working, change it. If you've been planning, all of these different, you can change it. You have the power. Now, maybe you like to have something like in front of you that's good, and there are journals, there are all of these different things, day planners, but there are also a number of great, just like printable weekly calendars online. And you really can find something that's going to work for you because the plan has to work for you. So don't try to make one of those day planners work for you. Go and find what you need. Just Google it. Seriously. Or, make your own. That's what I do. I just use the tables like in a Word document and then off I go. And I can do that. Oh, we have dance here. We have co-op here. We've got this. And then, we might do some here. We'll do here. That's sort of like how I plan. But if you want something, there's some great homeschooling specific ones out there online. Go and have a look. Now, I will have these tips on my website, learningthis.life, and some links to some good weekly calendars that you can use as a starting point. But I want to finish off by saying this. You are in charge of the schedule. The schedule is not in charge of you. Okay? You get to change it. You get to decide what you want in this. If the schedule is driving you, put the brakes on and go, hang on, this doesn't have to be this way. You are in charge of the schedule. Don't let it overwhelm you. If it is, you need to take a break. You need to pull some things out of it to do what works best for you and to keep homeschooling flowing, to keep the family atmosphere happy and jovial and alive, and so that you're not regretting homeschooling and going, I should have just put my kids in school. No, you are in charge of the schedule. Well, thank you so much for watching today and being part of this Learning Life community. And if you like these videos and, you've been sharing them and telling friends about them and you'd like to see more, you can join us as a champion and you can do that through Patreon. So at patreon.com, or you can check that out on my website, learningthis.life.